Okay, so a lot of people have thinning and problems with their edges and breakage in their locks and all. And in my opinion, I think that that's coming from you're just doing too much. We have to stop doing so much with our hair and just let our locks, let them be. And they will flourish, I promise you. When we say, just hang in there and let the locks do their thing, trust the process. Trust me, you will be so happy with your locks in 3 years. I mean, some people they talk about the ugly stage. I have never experienced that. And that's me. Now, your locks might look like my locks and you thought they were ugly. I have loved and embraced my locks in every stage, every stage. And I'm embracing them even more now because I'm like, oh my goodness, how long are my locks going to look like this? You know what I mean? Because right now, this stage that I'm at right now, I mean, each stage, it looks like they become even more gorgeous. I mean, look at these locks. I mean, even more gorgeous at each and every stage. And I don't do anything to my locks. I do, however, take good care of them. When I say that I don't do anything to my locks, that means like I don't add on oils, I don't add on anything other than I shampoo, I braid and band, and I shampoo, and then I let it do what it do for 2 weeks, and that's it. And then I do that same thing over again. I don't go putting all these different heavy ornaments on my hair because I had bought some beautiful ornaments, adornments a while ago, and I took them to my loctician, and I was like, "Can I use these?" And as soon as she put them in her hand, she was like, "Oh, girl, these are heavy. These, I can feel it. These are heavy. These are too heavy for your hair." And I thought about it. I was like, yeah, that's true. These are the adornments, some of the adornments, they're better for the traditional locks because they're heavier locks. But with Sisterlocks, we can't do the same thing with Sisterlocks that you would do with the traditional locks because the traditional locks, they're bigger locks, you know what I mean, thicker locks, you know what I mean, they're heavier locks, you know. With Sisterlocks, they're very thin, and you have to be very careful. You can't be weighing these little locks down with heavy adornments. It's just not a good thing. It's going to damage your locks. The other thing is headbands. Certain headbands, anything tight around your edges with these locks is going to cause a problem with your edges. So stop putting headbands, tight headbands around your head, and then you want to wear them every day. Whatever you do, I will say this, whatever you do, different adornments and headbands and pulling, pulling up in ponytails and things like that, don't constantly do it. It's okay to do it once in a while, but to do it every single day, putting up ponytails and clips in your hair, even a lot of the clips on these locks, they're just constantly digging into your lock and damaging your lock. So just be mindful of things like that. Again, I don't do anything to my hair, but I do take very good care of my hair. These are my babies, and I love, love, love them. Treat them like they're infants. You know what I mean? Treat them like they're your baby. Well, how would you take care of a newborn baby? How would you take care of that baby? You know what I mean? That's what you want to do with your your locks, your Sisterlocks. Stop putting heavy ornaments. Stop putting rubber bands and pulling it up and tugging, and then wondering why your hair is breaking. Stop adding all these different oils and things that should not be in your hair. I seen a client's hair, and I've only had one, that had so much built up in the back of her hair. And that a lot of that comes from not properly caring for your hair. Certain clothing can cause that problem where you get that lint buildup, laying on these pillows, laying around on the couch and things like that. laying in your bed with your hair just loose, I put a bonnet on my hair when I lay across my bed. I sometimes I can be sitting in my office and going to the bathroom and see a piece of lint, and I'm like, what? What? Where the hell did that come from? I know one time I was actually doing a video and I was talking about lint. And what did I see sitting there? A big behind piece of white lint. And I'm like, where the heck did that come from? So what I do during the course of the day is I do a good shake, because you never know. I just do a good shake like this during the course of the day. So if it's anything in there, hopefully it'll pop out. It won't wind up getting stuck and trapped into my locks. So be mindful of the lint when you lay down. Make sure your hair is covered. And I know they're gorgeous and you just want to lay around and look cute. But when you're laying across that bed, sis, put that bonnet on. Okay? Put that bonnet on. So the other thing is, I shampoo my hair right now every 2 weeks. Bi-weekly, every 2 weeks. I shampoo twice in between reties. So I did one of my shampoos. I had my first retie of the year on January the 2nd. I shampooed January the 1st, right? No, actually January 31st, because I did it 2 days before because I didn't want to do anything on the 1st. So I braided and banded. I shampooed. I set under the dryer. Now, drying is very important. Make sure those locks are dry, especially in the wintertime, because you don't want to get a musky odor in your locks from laying around or going to sleep on wet hair. You shouldn't be doing that. You risk a chance of getting mold. So I actually set under the dryer. Some people say, oh, you shouldn't be sitting under the dryer. You should be air dry. No, not necessarily. It's nowhere in the Sisterlocks class that they tell you that you cannot sit under a dryer or even blow dry your locks. I mean, and in the summertime, you can probably air dry because your hair be dry in minutes, depending on the thickness of your hair. So be mindful of that. So you want to make sure you shampoo when you're supposed to. Reties. Get your reties when you are supposed to get your reties. That is important. Your loctician tell you 5 to 6 weeks or 4 weeks. Me, myself, at 4 weeks, I don't have anything to retie. You can't even get a full rotation because my hair doesn't grow that fast. But we tried 6 weeks. But at 6 weeks, around my edges, they were like, I had a lot of growth by 6 weeks. So what we did was redo every 5 weeks. Every 5 weeks. I'm already scheduled through the year, guys. I scheduled through the year. That's important. You want to just go ahead on, when you get into that loctician chair in January, schedule your appointments through the year. That way you don't even have to worry about, oh my goodness, she's booked up. She couldn't get me in there. And then you're frustrated. And then when you come 8 weeks later, then your loctician is frustrated because it's going to take her longer. You're going to be frustrated because it's going to take her longer. You have to sit in the chair longer, and some of your locks are going to probably be hanging off. And you don't want that. You don't want your locks to be hanging off. You don't want to jeopardize the integrity of your locks, period. Okay? So let's get better, guys, this year. Stay on top of your reties. Stop putting all these things in your hair that's unnecessary. Headbands, tight headbands, rubber bands, different combs, those little clamps that's actually digging in your lock. I mean, it's cute to wear maybe one day here or there, but every day you're doing the same thing. And most of the time when you're doing it, it's in that same area, and that lock becomes damaged. Just remember, guys, every lock has a story. Like, I have a lock down here, and this is another thing people do, is they pull these little balls off. Now, I heard someone say the other day, I was watching some videos, that it was a lock that was just a ball that was just like actually hanging on a thin strand, right? And she decided to just pull it off. I actually have one of those. See? I have one of those. okay? But I'm not going to just pull that off. Leave it and let it do what it do. I'm going to see what it does. Okay, we're going to see what it does, and I'm going to check back in so you guys can see that lock and see what it does. Is that little ball going to fall off? If it falls off, fine, but don't pull them off. A lot of people, they're just going through, oh, I had these balls on my hair, so I just was pulling them off. No, that's your hair going through the locking process. So look, guys, if you're not sure about something, consult with your loctician, and believe me, she will not steer you wrong because she's the one in that head as well, okay? So, look, guys, just be careful. Love your locks. Love your locks every day. Care for them properly. Maintain them properly like they're supposed to be maintained. And believe me, your locks will love you and you will have a beautiful journey. Peace.